Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to the show. We're going to be doing the drill down right now. I hope you were with us earlier where we kind of went over the entire system in our hour-long episode. Now we're going to be doing the drill down. We'll be setting up alerts to help run your company. So we're going to be going into more in-depth about how alerts are going to work. Just a few things first, though. Just remember, you can always chat in through our live chat or give us a call if you ever have any questions. You can call us at 405-726-9900. And you can also chat in, and our hours are from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and that is Central Time. And then we're also open 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday. So again, you can also follow us on Facebook and like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, and you can also always pull up our archives at youtube.com/US Fleet Tracking. So if you ever want to go back and look at this video or see other videos that we've done, we go more in depth in our system. So again, to start us off, we're going to be going into the alerts on how to set those up. Again, my name is Rich Davis, Drew Cashin, a resident expert, knows the system in and out. So let's go at it. So how would we want to do this when setting up alerts with the system? How will it might be able to help the company?
Well, there's different ways that the alerts can help you. One of the common ones, most common ones, is what we call a Geofence Alert. You designate an area on the map, and you get either an email or a text message or both whenever the vehicle goes in or goes out. A common way that companies set that up is they'll put that on the yard or the shop or the garage where the company vehicles are, and then anytime the vehicle goes in or out, they get the alert. They get an email, and we'll show you how you can set that up as a recurring weekly report, and that way you can have basically an automatic vehicle log for all your vehicles you're coming and going.
And what's really nice from my understanding is, like I was saying earlier, is that these alerts can be set up so you don't really ever have to really log in. You can just be sitting there out in the field, in your car at your home, and be getting these alerts and be notifying you, for example, when a vehicle maybe leaves the zone. Maybe it's 8 o'clock at night and one of your work vehicles just starts moving. And you can be like, what is this? And now you can pull up the system or you could call people. That's one way there too, or your speed alerts. So again, we'll be going in depth on those, on how to create those alerts, and again, what each one might be able to be best suited for your company. So,
well, should we take a look?
Yeah, let's take a look.
All right. So when you sign in, you've got the main menu, which if your menu ever goes away, you just click the little globe here in the corner, it'll come back up. So under Alert Notifications, you'll want to create your contacts first. This is a list of contacts, and then once you have your list of contacts, you can then set up the alerts to use those contacts. This is a demo account for a limousine company in Houston, Texas. You can see they've got vehicles all over, and they've set up a maintenance alert to remind them to do an oil change.
So that's where all your alerts will show up. So if you ever need to change one, or if you ever need to go back and maybe delete one, that's one way to find them right there. Also what that search function is for, I assume.
Right, yeah, and then you've got the list of the alerts there. You can see them all right there. There's only one, so the list isn't very long. But right here, you'll click Create. And then like you said, this is the Geofence Alert. See Geofence? And this is a polygon shape on the map that you can manipulate. There's little white dots here in the corner that you can click and drag around. You can make this shape be as big or as small as you want, as intricate as you want. If I zoom in real close, you might be able to see there's a little gray dot right there, which is how you'll take the four-sided shape and make it a five-sided, because now we've pulled that in, and then it adds extra little halfway dots between the vertices there. So you can make a very detailed shape as much as you need, and whenever the vehicle goes in or out, you can set it on enter, on exit, to send you an alert.
And from my understanding, good, because if your company is like at the corner of a street, and you don't want that alert to be touching those roads, because let's say the vehicle drives by and that's all they're doing, but you don't want one saying, hey, they just showed up at the office. So I know it's really good there too to be able to shape that around that office. Now the other thing you want to do is make sure that you don't make it too small, because the device has to update inside that zone. And depending on the amount of satellites it picks up, on the accuracy, you want it to be able to always be able to pick up around that area. So
Yeah, let's take a look. See this Houston taxi company. You can see they've got a bunch of vehicles stacked right here. That must be where their shop is. So let's zoom in on that. And then we'll create. And then again, it defaults to Geofence. On the drop-down, you got the different alerts. We'll get to those in a minute. But this Geofence alert, so we can put the shape right there.
and as we can see, it's hitting those roads right there in the northwest and southwest.
Right. And again, because this is a shape you can manipulate, we can change these corners to sort of match the angle of the roads there. And you can see I'm including this road here, and I'm making sure to include the north-south road there. So that way we've got a nice big geofence, big enough to get all the vehicles that nothing's going to pass through without it registering. So we've created our shape. You can name it garage or shop or whatever you want to call it. And then the alerts that it's going to send are going to apply to, by default, all devices. But you can pick groups of devices. If you've created your vehicle groups, you can make an individual alert for individual vehicles. So if you want to apply this one to just number 8 Mike, and then create another one for someone else if you wanted to do that. Say if you wanted different hours on the different alerts. But again, by default, all devices is great, especially if you're going to use it for that automatic vehicle log that we talked about.
And what's great is I know you can create alerts inside alerts. So you can have a certain area where you have 4 alerts there. And like you were saying, where you can make individual ones or groups. So maybe you want one for all vehicles for a specific type of one, maybe for a certain time. And you can set one up for another, like just a specific vehicle. So that can be really nice.
Yep. So we'll have our geofence created there. And then the, let's see, we'll talk about here's where you would add the recipient, which it pulls from that list of contacts. And then once you click on that, then you have the information there that they've put in that you can pick from. So you can check the box there either for the text message or the email.
And I assume this would also be a good place where, let's say one of your managers are going on vacation and, they don't want to get those alerts. So this is how you can come back in there, uncheck those maybe for that person or that manager, and so they don't get those. So that can be really nice.
Yeah. Let's see here. You've got some other options here about when is the alert going to apply. By default, it starts all day, every day from midnight to 11:59. If you want to apply it just for after hours, you could change that to 8 p.m. to midnight, 8 p.m. However you want to set it up to do the different hours. You can also give the alert a speed limit. If you want to set a speed limit, if it's like a school zone or if they're not supposed to drive very fast because your business is set up in a semi-residential neighborhood, you could do that. You could put in the speed limit there. So then we would click save, which this is the demo count. I don't think it's going to let us save this alert. It says it did it, but I don't see it on the list. Well, we're using a demo account, so I think we don't have the permissions, which is another feature of the system. You get unlimited logins. You can have you have one account, but you can have 5 different logins with various permissions and pick which vehicles they see. So if you want to have like an owner's account that sees everything, if you want to have a secretary's account that's maybe just view only and just sees the company vehicles, you can do that. And then maybe like an administrator one that has the permissions to modify things. The system's got that flexibility. So let's look at some of the other alerts that you can create. We talked about the geofence. We also have the ignition alert, which this will some of the devices that are hardwired that have that recognition of when the ignition is on or off. This can let you know whenever the vehicle gets turned on or when the vehicle gets turned off. Functions just the same as the other one. You click to add the recipient. You pick the recipient from the drop down. You pick either the email or the text message, whichever one you want to use there. And again, it also has time of day applications that you can set it for certain times a day. We have the idling alert, which again, if the device is set up, if you're using the hardware device, which has the ignition wire connection, you'll know when the vehicle is on but not moving. And so that's how we define idling. So if the ignition's been on but the car hasn't moved for 30 minutes, then your driver is sitting there idling doing something. So here you can call it, you can name it
Gas saver.
idling, yeah, gas saver, because that's exactly what you would use it for, or idling over 15. And you would say, let me know by text message or email whenever it idles for more than 15 minutes in the same location. Because, you know, I mean, he may have a valid reason to be there at that location, but he should shut that vehicle off or whatever, you know, whatever the parameters are that you've set for the workers.
You have not enough time to get cool or to get warm during the winter. But at the same time, you don't want your guys idling for 40 minutes to an hour, where we've seen where people will pull up those reports and vehicles have been idling for well over an hour. And you know, when you add that up over time, you just start realizing how much money you're really spending on gas, and it starts paying for the system right there. So
yeah, it can be a really good beneficial cost saver. So let's look at some of the other report types here. We just looked at idle. Now we can go down to maintenance report.
yep, and there's that really nice report. That one, there's a very popular one.
Yep. And so what we do on the maintenance is you pick which vehicle you want to apply it to. Let's say we're going to look at number 8, Mike. We're going to add a condition to notify me every time the vehicle goes X number of hours or of operation or X number of miles. You would say, warn me every time the vehicle goes 3,000 miles. That way you know, and you could call this, we'll rename this Mike Oil Change. So that way, every 3,000 miles, this would then send you the alert to either your email, your text, or whichever you pick to notify you, oh, hey, it's time to do that oil change.
Good for warranties too, because like the oil change, you always have those little stickers. You have other things. Another way that's really interesting is I've seen a lot of customers go where they use it for like their warranties, and you know, after at 25,000 miles, warned you to let you know, hey, your warranty's about to expire, because I know a lot of those vehicles can vary. But you can put that in there, so now maybe you need to have it go checked up on or have it looked at. And I know we've had some customers where they do that, and then they need to change some parts, and that just saved them, you know, $5,000 because they went and checked it out right before the warranty expired and was able to use that warranty. So,
yep. So that's the maintenance alert. Panic alert. Some of the devices, the hardwired devices, have an input for a PTO, panic takeoff switch, a power takeoff switch, excuse me, where it'll let you know whenever that gets flipped, if it's like a tow truck or a siren, you know, whenever it's an input on the device, and this would let you know whenever that gets flipped. Again, just like the other ones, time of day, apply it to whichever vehicle you want, apply it to all devices if you want, give it the name you want to give it. We'll call this, you know, some of our law enforcement agencies will call this siren on. And they'll wire that to the siren, and anytime the siren goes on, again, just like the others, you pick the recipient, or recipients, because you can add multiple, and then which method you want them to be alerted. So that's the panic alert, power alert, and this is for our battery operated devices. So whenever the battery drops below a certain level, to send you an alert. So if you've got one of our portable tracker devices that have the battery, it would say 50%. Whenever the power gets below 50%, it'll contact you again via that method that you choose, either via the email or the text, whenever it gets below 50%. And you could add another one if you wanted, if you create another alert, you know, below 25, so that way you get it multiple times. That way you could keep track, so to speak, of that power level.
even those hard wires with the internal batteries, it'll register 100, and then you can set it there where if that registers 0, then if it's ever disconnected, or maybe even the OBDs, or if it's unplugged, can notify you right there that maybe it's been disconnected. So that's another nice thing.
Yep. I don't know that this account has any of the PTs that would show that battery level. The battery powered units, I think they're all hardwired on this account because they're a taxi company.
Yep.
Yeah. But otherwise, you know, you just click on the device, and that's another quick way to get a snapshot of the information there, the number of satellites it's registering, and if it's a battery powered device, it would show a power level here too also. So again, that's the power alert. We have a radius alert, which functions very similar to the geofence, but instead of being a polygon shape, it's a radius, you know, just sort of a big circle, and you can click and drag it.
Make sure if another vehicle gets close by to it, if they're getting a little too close.
Yeah, if you want to click and drag it, you could do it that way. or you can specify the diameter, 43 feet. Again, time of day. You can change the color of the geofence and the radius alerts if you want to differentiate them that way. You can make it purple, make it green. A lot of flexibility in the system to do it the way that you want. And just like the Geofence Alert, it also has the time of day applications, and then you can apply a speed limit to it as well if you want. Let's see. So that was the radius alert, and we have a route alert, which I don't know if we have the route turned on. Let me go turn that on real quick.
Well, I think we can add it right here. We can select the New York one, the one that we definitely want to try to jog one day.
Yeah, let's see. That was on the, just a second, alert deal. That was on was it our addresses?
Maybe dispatch and routing?
That's what it was. Excuse me. Yeah, the dispatch and routing. Under the routing, we'll turn this route on. And now you can see we've created this route. Move some of these menus out of the way. We've created this route from Los Angeles all the way to New York. And so what this route alert would do is it would let you know whenever the vehicle goes off of that route, say a deviation of more than 300 feet. Whenever it goes off of that route, whenever it comes within 300 feet of that route. So if you have a trucking company, they're supposed to go from Los Angeles to New York, and suddenly they start coming off the road here because they want to go through Vegas, then then you would get that message. Again, just like the other alerts, you'd add the recipient, you'd add the contact method, and then you'd save it. In all these alerts, of course, you can have multiple recipients on.
Again, this one right here is heavily used by the Super Bowl. Is what that one's really nice for, because those routes, for VIPs, especially like this demo accounts for like a limo service. Your dispatchers can tell them where to go and make sure they don't deviate from that route. So.
Yeah. A lot of the road paving companies and that sort of thing, heavy equipment, there's certain routes that the trucks are authorized to go on, certain roads. It's a good way to make sure that they're not going anywhere that they're not supposed to, opening you to any liability there. So again, on this option here, we would pick the route. This go to New York route that we've already created is the one that this one would apply to. So that's the route alert. Now we also have a speed alert, another very common alert. It's pretty simple. Whenever the speed exceeds, we'll say 70 miles per hour, during the time of the day, every day that you specify, it'll contact the person that you pick via the method that you pick. That's one that's used by a lot of companies, a lot of individuals to know, hell, I put it on my son's car, and now I know anytime he goes over 70 miles an hour. Or I put it on the big forklift, and I can see if they go over 15 miles an hour. I know that they're driving that thing that's too safe for OSHA standards or whatever it may be. So that's the speed alert.
Really good for safety.
Yeah, and we have a timeout alert. We showed you how to create those geofences. What the timeout alert is anytime a vehicle goes into that area and it stays for too long, you can have it, you can specify if it goes into an area and it stays for more than 20 minutes, then it would contact you. Again, contact the person that you pick via the method that you pick.
Really good for delivery services. I know, like they should just be delivering that package, and then they should only be there for a max of 5-10 minutes max. So you could set one up for 15-20 minutes, and if they're there for quite some time, then you can now dispatch that driver, call them and say, hey, why are you there? So, and it's nice because, again, you don't have to be watching the system to be making sure that, hey, they're hitting all their routes. Now all of a sudden you just get that alert and go, I just got an alert, hey, driver 1 was there for 20 minutes. Hey, let's get them on the mic and let's find out what's going on. So it can be a really nice thing.
And the timeout alert, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that's one that one of our clients requested. We have an in-house development team. We're always integrating feedback from our customers. And I think that's one that a customer had asked for, and we said, that's not too difficult to do. Let's look into it, and we were able to make that. So
Yeah, a lot of the alerts that we've had here was just due to clientele that's just, they could really use this function, that could really be used for their company, and we look over it and we find out what we can do, and after some time we get it implemented, and now it not only helps them but helps out so many other customers. So.
Yeah. No, and we went over a lot of information today, but if we go back to the menu one more time, let's take a look here. We went into this alert, and you see these little question mark logos. Any of those that you click, no matter which part of the system you're in, if we go into the alert, into the creation, you can see it right up here. There's one right there. That will launch a video that explains that feature of the alert creation and everything there. So even if you're needing assistance outside of the normal 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday, Saturdays 9 to 4. If you need assistance out of those times that you have access to the phone and chat tech support, you can look at those videos and that'll show you also.
Well, and I think that pretty much wraps up for the alerts. I really hope that this function right here will be able to help you and your company. Again, if you ever have any questions, please feel free to chat in. Give us a call. We can definitely look in there. If you ever have any questions or think of any other alerts, let us know. Again, you can contact us from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, Central Time, and on Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're always there available. Again, very, very prideful of our customer service.
Well, that's our U.S.-based phone and chat support.
Yep, exactly. It's all in-house. Again, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and if you ever want to go back and watch this video or any of our other videos, you can go check out our archives at youtube.com/US Fleet Tracking. And pretty much, I hope you guys have a great Friday, a good weekend, and it's supposed to be good weather. So until next time, I'm Rich, this is Drew. Have a great day.